And we should be live.
And we are live.
I did it. All by
Very
myself.
nice, very nice.
It's almost as amazing as what Samsung wants to do, adding ads to their mobile devices, their cell phones.
Yep. Built-in ads.
I'm not completely against it, which is the interesting part.
Okay.
10 Android features for your Samsung phone that make your life better. And I actually noticed several of them on my new phone.
Okay, cool.
And I didn't realize how nice it was. But it's pretty great.
Gotcha, yeah.
Twitter to let users, there we go, that's the sentence I'm working for, request verification. It looks like the request verification button is coming back to Twitter, which could be interesting because it looks like they had taken it away for some time now. This article number 4, Nintendo reveals their top 10 most downloaded games for the month of May. I could have sworn I knew what number 1 or 2 would be, and I got number 1 so wrong.
Okay. Oh man, I think I saw an article about this today. I'll see if I can remember it by the time we talk about that topic.
Cool. Smart TVs are getting shockingly cheap. Like very cheap. Like $130 with a good,
which is insane.
With a good smart functionality. It's not the weird proprietary smart stuff. It's Android TV official. I don't know why this says A, but sure. Cool, that works. 5A. EarFun wireless earbuds are on sale today. But I thought it was weird just because those are the literal exact ones that I use on my bike.
Okay.
They're pretty great headphones. Yes. I like them. I was like, whoa. There's millions of different earbuds. And the ones I use are $10 off.
Just after you already have them, of course.
Yeah, after I bought.
5 steps to speed up your computer, according to Gizmodo. This should be interesting. What kids 4 to 15 years old are doing on devices the past year.
Both those 2 articles are crazy. We're going to spend so much time on them.
Okay, yep.
It's pretty great.
Is a headphone jack worth an extra $50? So the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 does not have a headphone jack, but there was a poll out there asking people, would you pay an extra $50 for a headphone jack? And we'll let you know what they decided. Yeah. Look at those headphones. And finally, a new Kickstarter for a VR treadmill called the Catwalk VR.
I purposely have not looked at it because I've seen a couple different treadmill designs, and I actually made tons of models in 3D modeling software of a treadmill design that I liked. I was like, it's totally buildable with just buying a bunch of wood, like sheet wood and 2x4s. And I'd almost tried to build one, but then it got really complicated really fast.
Yeah. All right. Starting off at Samsung bringing ads to their new phone lock screens.
Let me grab Blinky Boy for that.
So this is going to be the Galaxy Note 20, possibly, which is the new, I guess, tablet or phone that Samsung is working on. And it may introduce ads on the lock screen, similar to what some Chinese phone makers do to reduce the cost. Well, not reduce the cost, but I guess
it's to reduce the upfront cost. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A way that they can make back money from building the phones, basically.
So Amazon actually does this with their Fire devices today.
Okay.
So you can buy an Amazon Fire device with ads or without ads, and there's a price difference on the upfront cost. And there's just ads on the lock screen, exactly how this looks, where that's your phone lock screen right here. And then there's just an ad. So it's not really in the way, because most of the time, let's see if I can show my lock screen. Even my lock screen's super empty. And putting an ad in the middle of it is really not going to affect the performance of my lock screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even look at it because it's fingerprint.
My sister recently got a new phone, and the phone she was looking at on Amazon, there were two models. One was, well, I think they were both unlocked, but one of them had something specifically by Amazon, which must be the same like ads on the lock screen thing.
Yeah.
It was slightly cheaper.
So it's probably a Motorola phone.
It was a Motorola
There
phone,
you go, yeah. Motorola's been doing that a lot, I've noticed.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be a similar concept, just obviously a different company doing it.
So instead of paying $800 for no ads, you're paying, you know, $650 or something like that for ads. And it's not the same ad will always be there. The ads will change. So 2 years down the road, when you're still using your phone, you're not getting these 2-year-old useless.
Yeah, right.
Like at least they're going to stay relevant.
And I would say as long as there's not a timer, like YouTube pre-roll ad that you can't skip, that would be an issue.
5 seconds before you can view it.
Yeah, that would be kind of an issue there, but I feel like they would not do that.
Yeah.
People would be upset about that.
Yeah, no, I'm completely okay with the idea if it is because all it is options at that point. You're giving the consumer the option of which way they want to.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I will always pick the one with no ads. I like the clean
just
UI
because
design.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh no, because that would be more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a little more expensive, but it'll be less for me to see. It's less eye clutter.
I expected you to go the other way on that.
Now phones start getting
know.
up. So without ads, it's $1,400, and with ads, it's $400. You know,
yeah, I guess that's a good point. If you're saving $1,000, you're saving like 60% of the price just with the ads. It'd be worth it, but if it's like $50, maybe not quite as worth it.
Yeah. But right now, I believe that they're only rolling it out on the newer phones and only in India for the time being.
Oh, interesting.
I believe that's what I read it.
But yeah, I'm cool with that, especially if it's an option. People can buy the cheaper phone with ads or buy the more expensive phone without ads. Okay.
It looks like right now they're just going to do it with Asia.
So if you're excited about the cheaper Samsung phones, you may have to wait just a little bit, but.
So speaking of that clean UI design of that I like of the Android phone, this article by AndroidPolice.com is 10 Android features you should know about. And so I just bought the Galaxy S10e, and it has the newer version of Android. So I had I think Android 9 on my Galaxy S8. Now I have Android 10 on my Galaxy S10. And a couple of these features, I know some of them off the bat, like, whoa, this is different, this is nice. And some of them I didn't even it didn't register to me that it was a feature.
It was just that intuitive that
it was natural. So one I didn't even know at all, gesture navigation. So I still don't completely understand what gesture navigation is, so we're probably going to skip that unless you want to talk about that one.
Not really. I mean, I recently got a new phone too, and now instead of having the home button on the bottom, the back button, and then the button to bring up the previously used apps, I can swipe from the left side of the screen to go back. So say I'm web browsing or whatever, and I click a link and I want to go back, I can swipe in from the left side of the screen to go back. And then I guess swiping up from the bottom, which brings up like the home screen and then recently used apps.
Okay, so I have swiping up from the bottom pulling up my Android Pay. So if I forget my wallet, I can just swipe up from the bottom of my phone and it pulls up the credit card so I can pay digitally.
Okay, yeah, mine's a little bit different. I think what I have is the native Android gestures, because I do have a Motorola.
Yeah.
It took some time to get used to, for sure. Just because sometimes, let me see, if I'm trying to bring in like a sidebar, which sometimes you swipe in from the left side to open up a sidebar. Now when I do that, sometimes it goes back a screen rather than pulling up the sidebar, which is kind of frustrating, but it's just something I have to get used to.
So number 2, I noticed this one pretty fast off the bat. Notification management. And I wonder if I can pull... Oh, I can. Bigger pictures. So here's a bunch of notifications, but the one I really noticed... Oh, does it not have the picture of it? Yeah, they do right here. Can we see this one? Let's just zoom in. Was like this, so it has an Instagram notification, and it's like show notifications, and you have it turn on and off with a toggle, like how it normally is, alert and silent, which is really neat.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't that way on my phone before, and so I can have notifications, but it can just pop up on the notification tray, but not actually make noises and.
That's really nice, because you don't want to mute your phone completely, because a lot of times you still want to have your phone ring when someone's calling you.
Yeah.
But if you post a picture on Instagram or something, you don't really want it to ding every time someone likes it. Yeah. So yeah, it's nice to have that silent option.
So I made it so that it alerts, but it turns off, but it's silent. For when I download memes to send to our meme chat. Because every time I downloaded a meme, it would do a notification ring. I was like, that's so weird.
Every time the download finishes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
And then, as you know, sometimes I'll go through like 40 memes at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that ease of access, because it popped up on pretty much every app when I opened it. It was like, hey. And then I believe the next one it also popped up on, which is great.
Okay, makes sense.
Not quite. Next one. Dark mode. I love dark mode. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So I have a dark theme already on mine. It's actually the same dark theme I was using on my S8. It's on my S10e.
Okay.
And then I turn on dark mode on top of it. It's so nice.
So that makes other apps automatically start up in dark mode too, right?
Most of them. So Facebook Messenger didn't. And I have yet to actually go into the setting on Facebook Messenger. I guess I can't really show the camera that because there's a lot of contacts. But yeah, Facebook Messenger is still the original white and blue layout. But then like some of my apps are in dark mode.
Yeah, beneath those pictures it says, this isn't going to magically make... Oh, wait, no. In the past, it was only the pre-installed Samsung apps that would match the system thing. But now apps like Instagram, WhatsApp, Reddit, and the majority of Google apps do so as well. So if you change the system theme to dark mode, then a lot of these other apps will detect that. Specifically these apps, maybe not all the apps, like Messenger, for example, but that's cool.
Yeah, I love dark mode. It's a great addition to Android. Now this is the one I was thinking of, the tighter location permissions. So this one also popped up every time I open an app at the beginning, along with the notification sounds. And so location permissions, so every app on my phone asks for location permissions. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I can do allow all the time, allow only while using the app, or deny it. And so like I have like the Wendy's and the Domino's and the McDonald's and the Chick-fil-A and all those fast food apps are allow while I'm using the app. That way I can just hit find the nearest location and it will just...
It's convenient, yeah.
Yeah. But they don't need to know where I am right now.
Yeah, when you're not ordering, it doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah. And the downside of having it allow all the time is that those apps can activate the GPS on the phone and then drain the battery a little bit. And if you have 15 different fast food apps on your phone, that might be 15 times an hour or something that they could be activating the GPS to find out your location. For me, it's more of a battery thing than a privacy thing, but I bet for a lot of people it would be a privacy thing. Even though your phone has, 500 different things tracking it.
Yeah. Google Maps,
Yeah. But I liked how it popped up for me every time I opened the app, an app for the first time.
Okay.
I was like, just liked how you like to see everything. So this I didn't know was a thing. Focus mode. It seems like it just disables a lot of the distracting apps. So you can say, like, I want to only use these apps when in focus mode, and it'll only let you use those apps in focus mode.
I wonder if that would hide notifications too. Like, for example, if you had an Instagram notification and you were on work time, if you could set that to not appear. Because that would keep you focused more. But yeah, it looks like it grays out some of the apps on the home screen and disables those widgets. So, like, I don't know if that's a Discord up there.
It kind of looks like Discord, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's nice. I mean, I don't think I would necessarily use it.
But for people who do have problems focusing, I can see it being
that's
nice.
Kind of cool. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, before we get to the next one, how would you feel if your employer had the ability on your phone? You had the two choices. You can either leave the phone in the office or the locker or wherever the employer forces you. So, like some of the, like a roller skating rink, they might make the employees keep all their phones in the office. That way they're not playing on their phones when they should be, refereeing the skating rink. Do you think it would be okay for an employer to have control over focus mode, so that way the employee can keep their phone so that they can get, like, emergency phone calls and maybe disable everything else on their phone? That way, if there was an incident,
I wouldn't give my employer access to control focus mode on my phone unless the employer was providing the phone.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
In terms of would that help? Maybe. I think whenever I worked in fast food, I would just put my phone on airplane mode and put it in my pocket. That way, if I ever needed the phone, I had it, but it wasn't about to ring or anything. And technically, I was supposed to put it back in the desk, but they don't know, and, it wasn't affecting my work, so it wasn't an issue for me, but...
Okay. Strange. Cool. Next up is privacy settings. And basically, this is just way easier to see all your privacy settings, like body sensors and calendars and call logs and camera and contacts and this huge list. And you can see that 23 out of the 60 apps can use this, and 12 out of the 16 apps that want this can use this. It's like, supposedly this person has at least 182 apps installed on their device, and 95 of them are allowed to access storage. And so it's a really easy way to see, like, what's all using my microphone.
Rather than having to go into individual apps and say, hey, is this app using my microphone? You can just, I'm assuming, click on that microphone link, and it'll show you all the apps, which is pretty convenient.
So I had a weird problem today. I use Google Hangouts, texting in for SMS and for calling, just as another phone number. So I have my phone number separated a little bit. And I didn't realize that Google Hangouts used my personal contacts on the phone and not just the contacts in Google Hangouts. And so half my contacts were missing when I switched over phones because I just told it no permissions. I just gave Hangouts no permissions all the way through. I was like, where's all my contacts? And then I went into contacts and gave Google Hangouts permission, and then the other half of them filled in. Because for some reason, half are on Google Hangouts, half are on my phone. Don't really know.
So not only is it kind of an easy way to see which apps use certain permissions, but also to give a certain app permissions.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, it made it a lot easier to figure out what was going on. It's a better user layout. Now this one, I didn't realize was a feature until I read the article. And now that I had read the article, I realized my old phone didn't have this.
Mm-hmm.
But my Gmail has it on all my devices pretty much. And that's why I didn't realize it just kind of snuck in there as a...
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty convenient. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever really used it, but I guess for a short response, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
If you're confirming a location or something, just clicking the share button is pretty easy.
Yeah. I wish you could customize it. So, like, it could have, like, options for yes, options for no, options for maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because, like, clearly sure and sure what time. You know, I might not be the person that says sure, but I got with 7 H's or something, you know. That way it's a little more personalized how I would talk.
Yeah. Or I would say something like, yes, that sounds good to me, rather than just a one-word sure. You know, sure is like just, whatever, you know.
Yeah. But at least I don't put a sure with a period all by itself.
Yeah, right? Sure. Fine with me. We can have pizza. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think it'd be cool that, like, or like even if it gives you those options, you just hold press it, and then you can edit that option. So instead of sure, you can do sure smiley face, and then the next time it pulls up that option for you, it will have the sure smiley face because you edited that one particular speech bubble, and that might be an easier way for people to customize it.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, no, I mean I use it in Gmail a lot, just like, you know, when somebody
hitting tab.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yep, sounds good," or "Yep, I'll be there." Like, I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah.
Share sheet. To me, this kind of sounds a lot like Apple's AirDrop. Looks like you can just share something, but I don't fully understand what it is. I've never used it.
So normally when you click share, it's like basically sending a link over one of the different services, right? So there's the 3 sections. In the Samsung picture shown here, there's the 3 sections. There's, it looks like text to a certain contact, or smart view, link sharing, shared album, or the bottom section, which I think on my phone it only shows the bottom section.
Okay.
Like upload to photos or share through Messenger or share through whatever. So it looks like it's just giving some more options, like smart view, link sharing, shared option, or sending it directly to somebody, I guess. Just giving more options, it looks like to me.
Yep, and as long as it's in a clean, easy to understand design, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Sharing Wi-Fi via QR codes. I am so happy about this.
This is pretty cool. Yeah.
Because the worst thing in the world is when you go to a friend's house that doesn't customize their Wi-Fi, and it's 14 words. It's like 270 characters long.
Yeah. Or even just 14 characters long with zeros and ones, or like zeros and O's and ones and L's, and it's just
eyes. Yeah. Because then one person can type in the password, and then they can just go around and share the QR code to everybody.
That's cool.
I think that's a good idea.
Or the host, who probably has it, is connected to their Wi-Fi network, can share it like that. Yeah.
Chances
or I'm sure
are
you can print out the QR code too.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. For the routers just to have a QR code on the box with the password. So you don't have to print it. It's just like Wi-Fi name, Wi-Fi password, QR code password. It'll eventually just be on the sticker.
It's kind of amazing to me how QR codes never really took off. I mean, some things still use QR codes, but I wouldn't really say they're even quite mainstream, right?
Yeah. No, they're definitely niche in how they're used.
Oh, so we went to a restaurant. I told you yesterday we went kayaking out in the West, we'll say. The west of where we are.
The Wild West.
And the West. And the restaurant we went to had a touchless pay option, so their receipts had a QR code on it. and you could, I guess, I don't know if you had to install their app or just have a QR code reader, but you could scan the QR code and then enter in your credit card information and pay that way, rather than giving the server your credit card. Just, I guess one thing, it's kind of nice for security, actually, not giving them your credit card, because they could swipe it through their reader and like steal your information that way. But it's also just kind of convenient. None of us used it because in the West, we didn't have the best wireless connection or cell connection.
Yeah.
But it was a cool use of QR code
concept. Yeah.
Yeah. Seek bar in media notifications.
So, I didn't even notice this one on my Spotify. Because I use Spotify. And so, like, if you're playing Spotify on your phone, it will have the little notification on top. And when you swipe down on your screen, you'll have, like, it will tell you this. It'll tell you, like, Spotify, and it's playing Arrival to Earth by Steve Jablonski. And, yeah, picked a hard name there. And then, apparently now they have a little seek bar, which is neat.
Okay.
If you want to show your friends the chorus to a song, I guess.
Gotcha. I've seen like the play, the pause, the next song or previous song.
Yeah.
But the seek bar is pretty cool.
I don't know. It's a welcome feature, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever use it.
Yeah.
Usually I'll just listen to the whole song. Tends to be why I listen to my music, right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know. I tried to read this article so hard. Twitter to launch a revamped verification system with publicly documented guidelines. This is over at TechCrunch.com. So from my understanding, which is a very shallow understanding of this one.
Yeah.
They're bringing back the verification, and it's someone named Jane Manchun Wong posted this picture here. Oh, please just pull up the picture. Under the settings on login security, under personal information, you can now request verification. The button is back. And so possibly they're going to start letting you request your account to be verified. Because I think at one point they took away the request verification. And they're like, if you're famous enough, we'll find you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how they did it for a while.
Yes.
But the thing
it looks like there was an issue with where Twitter had verified the account of someone named Jason Kessler, who was an organizer of a white supremacist rally. And yeah, Twitter kind of got into hot water for verifying the account of a guy who was the organizer of white supremacist rally. So then it looks like they removed that feature along that time in 2017. Yep, and then it says Twitter said it would pause verifications while it figured out how to fix the system. Yeah, so now they're kind of relaunching the overhaul, it sounds like. But it doesn't really say anything about how you get verified in this article.
Which I assume they're still working on it, because from the headline, with publicly documented guidelines, so it almost sounds like they're going to tell you, hey, you need this, 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 and this to become verified, which is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree, for sure.
But then I'm curious who all that information's available to on the Twitter side of things. So, if they're asking for, I want a copy of your driver's license and your homeowner's insurance and, like these really weird things to verify you, who on the other side's reading it, and then where are they storing it?
Sure.
Because was it Twitter that got caught with clear text passwords?
Facebook. Yeah, it was Facebook.
Facebook.
Caught with like 300 million. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, what are you gonna do to protect my verification of my identity?
Yeah. These are massive companies, but they still. That doesn't mean they do everything right.
They're still run by people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like, if once they verify your account, they just delete. But then, like,
Fake.
how can? Yeah. Then like the employee at Twitter can just pull up their phone and just take a picture of the identifying.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just require you to like video chat, and so they just have employees there that just video chat with all these different celebrities for like 15 minutes.
Deep fakes, man.
Yeah, we'll get there, I'm sure. You got to go into the Twitter headquarters.
You have to personally come visit.
You have to check box the "I am not a robot" on paper. That's how they're gonna
check
do
mark
it.
The "I am whoever."
Yeah. All right. Did you read this article by Nintendo or about Nintendo?
No.
Okay.
I meant to not read it, and I just saw the top game.
Oh.
Yeah, which I agree is a complete surprise.
So, the top game for May of 2020 in Europe for Nintendo's most downloaded is NBA 2K20. It's unbelievable.
Who would have expected a basketball game to be number one, especially
for Nintendo
in Europe? Yeah, for Nintendo, especially in Europe. I mean,
that's very true, actually. Yeah.
I
could have seen it on the PlayStation 5 or something.
Yeah, I could see that, or Madden or something. I would have expected it to be Animal Crossing, or I think there was another game that just came out.
I was expecting Animal Crossing or the Mario Kart. Was that the one that just came out?
There's a man.
Good. And then the new Zelda game's pretty hot. I haven't played it. I don't even have a Switch. But yeah, I was blown away with NBA 2K20 as the top result. And then
Minecraft Dungeons was the other one I was thinking of.
Okay. And that's number 3. I mean, not too far.
Have you seen the Dungeons? Any people playing the Dungeons game?
I saw like 10 seconds of it.
It's like a top-down run around and shoot.
And then I clicked off of
it. It doesn't look great.
Yeah, I got about 10 seconds into it. I was like, nah, not for me. We'll try something else later.
And then other games on this list: Minecraft, number 4. Just Dance 2020, which seems like it would go along well with the Switch. With the 2 remotes. Move it around, I guess. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 8. And the rest of the games I've never really heard of.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, I've heard of Xenoblade and Cuphead, but I've never seen anyone play them. I never hear people talk about them. It's just through the internet I've heard of them. Splatoon 2, I've seen people play before. It's a very Fortnite-y kind of game.
I think I remember hearing about Splatoon a long time ago.
Like, you just paint the world.
Shooting the paint or whatever? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost like Capture the Flag, but instead of capturing a flag, you're just painting the world, so it's just 2 teams. It's a kind of cool game.
Sounds relaxing. But I've never played it, so it could be not relaxing.
I mean, it's a competitive game. It's supposed to be, right?
But it's just shooting paint everywhere, right? Speaking of relaxing, this video is sponsored by JMR Media and
NephewTech.
Hey, you pointed the right direction. NephewTech.
Look at us. Woo.
You can sponsor us by buying us a smart TV.
We got all the smart TVs. We just don't have them on the right window.
Okay. TCL brings televisions with Android TV to the US starting at $129. I think we've talked about TCL before.
Yeah.
It's like the Chinese telecommunications company.
But they've definitely been like an Amazon bestseller brand. They make really cheap TVs. But the interesting part about this is that it has the official Android TV as their smart brain, essentially, the software.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Instead of using the weird proprietary software that smart TVs were shipping out with when like they were first getting pumped out. Yeah. Now it's using a standard, so it's like it's all coming together in a way. It's starting to make a little more sense in my opinion. But they're pumping out one at $129. It's a 32-inch. It's only 1080p, but it's 32 inches. I mean, you're not that big.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not.
Oh, big, it's 720. It's only 720.
Pretty nice price. Okay, gotcha.
So it's even. You got smart TV functionality, I guess. I thought it was 1080.
Wow. And then the 40-inch TV cost $199.
And it's only 1080 right here.
Pretty good for a 40-inch TV, right?
Not really. I bought my 55-inch 4K for $300 a year and a half ago.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have smart functionality, so there's the toss up there. It's how bad do you want a smart TV?
And then I just checked on Amazon, and they have a 43-inch 4K smart TV for $229, also by TCL.
So for $30 more.
3 inches bigger, but yeah, 4K, which is nice.
So yeah, I wouldn't go with any of these two here. There's definitely better options out there. But yeah, to get a 4K screen, you're going to be looking at least $200.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the starting point, I believe.
And then there's also a Samsung 43-inch smart TV 4K for $347. But you're always going to pay more for a Samsung. Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, I almost bought a TCL. Speaking of, but I went with a Scepter. They were the same price at the time, and I had a Scepter before, and I was like, why go with the TCL when I can get the same name that I had before for the same price? I like it.
Speaking of pretty good deals, we've got the EarFun wireless earbuds. Earboards sounds uncomfortable.
So I really like these. They have a physical button in the actual ear part, the bud part. Apparently they're wireless charging, as in the case wireless charges. I didn't know that. But somewhere down here, it tells you that you can just charge the whole thing. Yeah, just plunk it down on any QI pad. I was like, nice. That's kind of cool, I guess. I didn't know that. So I actually rode on the motorcycle with these. Played music continuously through Bluetooth on Spotify. For right at 3 hours on a single charge.
Okay. 0
problems. Well, once I lost data connection, I switched over to my downloaded music for 15 minutes. Yeah. But otherwise, aside from the data connection problem, the earbuds had 0 problems.
And this article also says that they have an 18-month warranty, which is pretty nice.
Which I didn't know about. But I've dropped them. I've stepped on them. I drop them every time I take my helmet off, actually. So I pull the helmet off, they just fall. I can see that. They fall out. They're very, very good in my opinion. I left them out in the rain. Now, I left the whole case out in the rain.
Wow. Okay.
And I haven't had a problem with them yet. I bought them for $50 in March. Currently, they are $40 at the time of live streaming.
Okay.
The article says 35. They're 40 on Amazon right now, so I don't. Or at least they were when I copy pasted the article.
Yeah, I see they're still $39 on Amazon. Yeah, $39.99.
Yeah. But if you're looking for a really good pair of wireless earbuds, I really enjoy them. Part of me wants to modify these earbuds, and I've been debating on doing a video on modifying them. So if you, because each one of them has a button, it's just a single button. So if you just tap the button once on either ear, it pauses, which is a great functionality. I liked it because then I could just push the side of my helmet and it plays or pauses my music for me. So if I'm at the gas station, I just pause, and then that way, if someone tries talking to me, I can have a chance of hearing them. But then if you double hit it, if you double hit the left ear, this is my left, it volumes down on the earbuds, not on the phone. So the earbuds have their own separate volume. And if you double hit the right one, it volumes up. The problem is sometimes when I just push, it will double click. I have no idea why. It's a physical button. And so I'm debating on just ripping the button out of the left ear, so that it can't go volume down.
And then you can control the volume through the phone if you needed to.
Yeah, because I don't change the volume on my earbuds anyways. I mean, it's not very pleasant hitting the side of my helmet to begin with. It's So I've been debating on just taking an X-Acto knife and just popping off the plastic cover and scraping off the button.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different that the earbuds have a volume control that's not the same as the phone. So the phone can be full blasting and your audio can be next to mute. And it drove me nuts until I read the instruction manual.
Yeah, and figured out why that was.
Yeah. But I like them. When that's your only complaint, it's usually a pretty good product.
How to Speed Up Your Computer by Gizmodo.
Man, I want to see you make a 5-step article on how to speed up your computer and then compare it to this one before you read it. But that would take way too long. This article is whack, in my personal opinion. So how to speed up your personal computer. The one thing this does, though, is it shows a lot of how to do it on macOS and on Windows. Okay. Which is both good and bad. But the problem is, like, you wouldn't do the same thing on 2 different operating systems to make them faster for most of the steps, because a lot of it's going to be software related. So how to speed up your computer. There's 5 tips on it. I'll just go over the Windows. If you want to talk about the Mac ones, it's all you.
I see the headers, and then it seems like every other one is Windows, one is Mac, one is Windows.
Yeah. So the first one is free up storage space. Now, that might be an Apple problem. I've never experienced a computer running slower.
That's a hard drive problem.
Yeah, I never had a computer run slower because it had more storage on it when they're SSDs. The only way that I could think of, because I thought about this for a little bit, for a hard drive to run slower full of data is if it was fragmented and it's having to jump the needle a bunch back and forth. Otherwise, if it's not fragmented, or even like 4 or 6% fragmented, there's not that much needle movement, so you're going to get the same relative speed realistically.
And does Windows automatically defrag on a regular basis?
Windows 10 is set to auto defrag if it's a hard drive.
Okay.
I think the default's like Wednesday evening every week or something. But yeah.
So Windows, if you turn your computer off after you use it, you may need to manually defragment the hard drive if you're using a hard drive.
But if you don't know if you're using a hard drive, don't defrag it. Just because if it's an SSD, and you didn't know it was.
Yeah.
I have a great video actually on it on how to defrag your hard drive. It was one of the 50 videos I did. And I show you how to find out if it's an SSD or not. Shout outs, right? So free.
Can you do that on Windows without opening up the computer?
Like,
can you see if it's a hard drive or SSD?
You can see it in the disk defragment tool.
Okay, cool.
You can also see it under hardware. Okay. Oh, I think I can. I think I shouldn't though, because it's the personal computer.
Okay.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
Gotcha.
We could do this actually. Properties. So here we go. This shows you I have 2 hard drives in my computer. Oh, you can't. It's because it's doing a window capture, not a screen capture.
Oh, gotcha.
Never mind.
That's fine.
But yeah,
check
you
out
can. Yeah, just check out the. It's a little easier.
Wow, Step 2, remove programs you don't use.
Now, I would say that this one is a valid step in some ways.
Mm-hmm. I think it actually probably goes along with step 3, which is stop programs from launching at startup, because by uninstalling them, you'll also stop them from launching at startup.
Yeah, those two should have been pretty much the same step.
Yeah.
Because any of the programs that you don't use that don't launch up at startup, chances are they won't launch up until you use them, in which case you're not going to remove them if you're using them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think you're right on them being the same step essentially, because a program.
I agree that it's valid. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if a program's on your computer and it doesn't start on startup and you don't start it up, then it just sits on your hard drive, and it doesn't slow the hard drive down having data in it.
Yeah.
From my full understanding of how hard drives work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be totally wrong, but from all of my research, your house doesn't become smaller because you put stuff in it. It just feels smaller on the inside because there's less room for you. There's still the same amount of space. Then 4, clean up your applications. So I think what they mean on here is like remove your browser extensions. Otherwise, I have no idea.
That's what I see as well.
Which is very true. That's actually one of the things that I do to speed up my customer's computer, is I go through their browser extensions and remove every extension I know slows down computers. The auto coupon clipper.
Yes.
Or the safe, secure web surf browser extension. There's certain ones that are made to just harvest your data and slow down your computer. That's a valid one there.
Yes.
Now, if someone were to ask you, how can I speed up my computer, how likely are you to recommend number 5?
I am not likely to suggest that, because that's going to involve me doing the work. But
and reinstalling everything.
Yes. But I think it can speed up the computer in probably a lot of the same way that cleaning up your applications, stopping programs launching at startup will do. It basically just resets everything, uninstalls everything you don't use, and it's going to clear out the browser add-ons. So I think there's probably easier ways than just reinstalling the entire operating system. But I mean, if your computer is really, really slow, it may just be easier to reinstall it, in my opinion. But.
Yeah. Sometimes I do recommend some customers just reinstall their operating system, because they've put so many tweaks in the registry and they start messing with how stuff gets installed that I could sit there and do it, but I would change it from a flat rate fixed fee to an hourly fee, because it went from an 8-hour job to a 7-day job or something.
So basically, sometimes this can be the easiest solution. Just start from scratch.
Or the most realistic,
But most of the time, I would guess that it's probably easier to just stop programs from starting at launch up. Or launching at startup. And
Yeah, because if cleaning up like your programs and cleaning up your extensions, and I would have put updating programs on there.
Okay, yeah,
as
I can see that.
Thing. Because like every time I open up VLC video player, there's an update. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then like Notepad++ always has an update. OBS every time we live stream has an update. Like if you just sit there once a week and update all your programs, it'll run so much faster. Like I don't close Chrome all the way. I'll just minimize it because why? Yeah. And so my Chrome will almost always have the little yellow arrow to tell me that it needs to be shut down and restarted for updates. And so the updates can solve a lot of the problems for people. Resetting the computer is a great idea if it's too far gone. But for most people...
it's just a lot of work to do.
Yeah. It's like, should I change the oil in my car or should I just get a new car? Like, for some people, they should just go ahead and get the new car. Like,
that's a really good analogy, yeah.
Yeah. It's not worth changing the oil if you also have to jump start it every time you crank it. And you have to put a new tire on. Or you have to reinflate one of your tires. I did that for 2 weeks. There was a slow leak in it. So it's just every morning and evening, I'll just reinflate it and drive home. It would stay for like 5-6 hours. It was just such a slow leak that I was like... And then, I finally had to get it. Because then I wouldn't be able to go anywhere outside of work and home. Because I have an air compressor at those two places.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a couple of these are good tips. It's just... I really wouldn't recommend...
You kind of need some of the context, yeah. You need to know which situations to use each step, basically.
Yeah. If you really want to speed up your computer, you should watch 50 videos on all the basics on how to make your computer go zoom zoom. That's what I should do next. A 50-part series on how to speed up your computer where each step is super basic. Like
first, click the Windows icon. Thank you for watching this video with NephewTech.
Yeah. Or like
tune in for tomorrow's video.
This is how to clear your cookies. This is how to clear your browsing history. This is how to clear your extensions. This is how to update Chrome. This is how to install the latest update of Chrome. It's like a different way every time. No, I just saw that article and I was like, why would you recommend that to people? But to all their own. Now this article was a wild ride to read. I had so many opinions on this one. I don't know if you've read it yet.
Not really.
This is over on 9to5mac.com. TikTok, almost as popular with kids as YouTube. Most US kids play Roblox. What a title. That's like 2 different researches right there. TikTok is almost as popular with kids as YouTube. Most kids also play Roblox.
On a completely kind of unrelated note, most kids play Roblox.
I also really like the vanilla Frosty at Wendy's over the chocolate. Like, I started off...
Is that ice cream cone in the top right thing?
No. I started off hating this article so much. I think I sat here for like 15 minutes reading it until I could finally wrap my head around the majority of what they were trying to say. So, the analyst is of 60,000 families. So this could be multiple kids per family, depending on, 60,000 times 2.5 kids per family, one of those things. Across the U.S., UK, and Spain, found that kids ages 4 to 15 spend 80 minutes a day watching TikTok videos and just 5 minutes less, which is 5 minutes less than what they do watching YouTube. So they spend 80 minutes on TikTok and 85 minutes on YouTube on average, according to the research.
And you got to imagine that like the 5 and 6 year old kids aren't watching a lot of it, right? The older kids are probably watching a ton.
So it could go either way. It could be that the parents are giving their 4, 5, 6-year-olds the phone, like in car rides or something to help keep them quiet. I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was about to say something. You go ahead.
And it also found that YouTube's theoretical age restriction is not enforced.
Yeah. Yeah, the other wild part is that it's 80 minutes on TikTok and 85 minutes on YouTube. So they're not watching an hour and 20 minutes of TikTok and then an hour and 25 minutes of YouTube. It's combined. So they're watching almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes of videos on the two platforms a day. So, it's almost a tenth of the day is spent watching videos for kids between ages 4 to 15 for average, which is funny because I think I pass 3 hours easy peasy every day. I'm probably up there in like that 4 hour, 5 hour mark.
And you're also browsing that stuff too while you're working, though.
Yeah.
Watching live streams, podcasts, that kind of thing. So,
how to tear apart a computer.
Kind of in the background as well.
Yeah.
Like listening to music on YouTube or whatever it is.
Yeah. Watch a Joe Rogan experience. That's 3 hours right there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they split it up also on here between the differences between the US, UK, and Spain. They just didn't lump all three together. But yeah, as you're saying, YouTube doesn't really allow kids 12 and under on their platform. But it looks like parents are just saying that the kid is, 47 or whatever.
Yeah.
And just letting them go crazy. So this Roblox part of this whole article. Apparently, it's been the biggest hit over this year so far. And I couldn't figure out why Roblox was such a popular one. It's free.
Yes.
And I think that's why it's so popular. Is that it's the free version of Minecraft.
Kind of. I would say it's a lot different than Minecraft.
Yeah.
We used to play Roblox a lot, and you can basically people build games using Roblox's game engine and can allow other people to play their game on Roblox's servers. So it's not like it's just the Minecraft, but there could be a racing game or a shooter game or a building game. But yeah, it says in the US and UK, 54 and 51% of kids play, whereas in Spain, only about 17% do. Instead, kids in Spain currently prefer Brawl Stars, whatever that is. Sounds like a wrestling game or fighting game.
But no, I saw the headline of this article and I was like, I gotta figure out what this means.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Is a headphone jack worth an extra $50? So the Galaxy Note 20, which is I guess coming out soon, right, is probably not going to have a headphone jack because Samsung is pretty much not adding the headphone jack to any of its new flagship phones. But they ran a poll, or this website, Android Authority. Android Authority ran a poll for readers of this article, I guess, asking, would you pay $50 extra for a Galaxy Note 20 with a headphone jack? And you can't see the results unless you vote.
I just voted.
Currently, what's it saying, 63%?
63.2 is yes, take my money. 36.8 is no, a headphone jack isn't worth $50 to me.
So about twice as many people would prefer the headphone jack as wouldn't want to pay for the headphone jack.
So the only time I use my Bluetooth earbuds is when on the motorcycle, because it's one less wire to go between me and the bike. That's a good thing. Otherwise, I always wear wired earbuds when I listen to music on my phone. It's just a better sound experience.
And it's super convenient. You don't have to charge them.
Yep. Yeah, the headphone jack is one of like the 3 things I wanted on my new phone.
Yeah.
Along with no curved screen and wireless charging. I was like, that's it. That's the 3 requirements I need. And fast, but that fast is relative.
And basically all the comments on this page are saying, well, $50 is a little bit overpriced, but
it's overpriced for the technology that's required to have a headphone jack.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's right.
But like, even like, I would be okay with you taking out one of the 7 cameras on the phone to put in a headphone jack. Like, I don't mind not having 7 different types of widescreen or.
Yeah. And then our final article is Catwalk C. So this is a project that is going to be on Kickstarter by a company called Cat VR, who had a different VR treadmill back in 2015. But now they're bringing on their new treadmill thing.
So I like this design a lot more than the ones I've seen in times past. I want to know if he can squat.
That's a good question. I also can't really see how his feet are moving. I don't know if there are like little balls there that.
So a lot of the designs with the bowl design is that it's almost like a tap dance shoe. I don't know what a tap dance shoe looks like, but it's a slippery shoe on a slippery bowl.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's nothing on the little bowl that's moving. It's just sliding. His foot is sliding on it. Gotcha.
Because there was another design like that. Now, it may be different for this particular one, but most of them did that. Like 3 years back, when I was looking for VR headsets, I was also looking for VR treadmills because I was like,
yeah,
it's kind of stupid to play a shooting run around game if you can't run around.
Yeah.
And this design, they're putting the legs a little farther back, so he could sidestep if he wanted to. The designs I'd seen in the past, the support poles were on the sides, and so you really couldn't lean or anything because it was the poles were in the way. And the poles are so low down and far back. I'm putting my hands down there like you can see it. That they don't look like they're really in the way. Oh, he is squatting in this top picture. So it does allow for some type of squat. Because the other thing that I was worried about was like, yeah, you can run, you can walk, but then you need to be able to jump, you need to be able to squat, you need to be able to lay down. I don't think you can lay down in this model.
I agree with that.
But like in Super Hot VR, how often did you end up all the way down? Like
a lot.
When a bullet comes to you, you just drop. And I think if you can't lay down in a shooting game, that's an important feature that it's missing.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to try this out. It's kind of expensive. It's $700, which is about as much as a VR headset cost.
Yeah.
So I think they'll definitely have to hold demos for people to try before using it, because it could be either really good or it could be really bad. Because I can imagine that walking with a VR headset on where you can't actually see where you're going would be kind of weird to do at first.
Yeah. And
just sprinting like that.
They don't show in this. I guess they do a little bit. Yeah, so it does rotate around the base. So like if you turn left, the machine actually turns left, and it's not like a force feedback type of thing.
Gotcha.
And so that's one of those weird things, like with the tether on the cable, that you have this weird feedback of the cable getting pulled around that pulls you from the experience. And so one of the problems I had when designing mine was like, it's gonna have some type of like motorized and then button, like almost like sensor buttons. So if you start turning, one of the buttons will be pressed and one of them will not be pressed, and it knows to move the cart around.
Gotcha.
That way there's not that physical friction. It would all just be
then I guess my one other complaint would be maybe make the stabilizing braces on the floor a little bit wider, just because it looks like it's about it looks like it has the chance to tip over in this case. But
like he would have enough force that if he just lunged forward in like a baseball head slide, that he would be able to pull the whole machine down.
But that's something that, I mean, that can be resolved easily, I think. So
yeah,
that's not a huge deal. Yeah.
But no, that's one of the better compact designs that I've seen. I really like it. I think it's on the right track. I think you just have to be able to lay down and jump. Which, I mean, he may be able to jump in that one.
Yeah, I think he definitely can't lay down in that. I think
Not
with this
quite.
design, though, it'd be hard to make it where you can lay down, but where it still can hold you securely in the upright position.
Yeah, that's true.
So they may have to redesign something for that, but
the other problem with laying down in a bowl is that it's a bowl. So, you know, when you're laying down, you'll have great knee and elbow support, but then the rest of you will have to plank.
Yeah.
It'll end up like a banana.
Yeah.
I kind of like that treadmill idea. I got to see if I can find my old 3D models. I mean, I spent so long doing model after model on all these different design ideas, and I was making like these 11-foot structures that were like, because it had to be long enough that you could lay down on it. So it has to be 7 feet
in every direction.
Yeah. So, but then like if you jump, you have to think about how high do you jump with your hand in the air. Like if you're trying to grab something, then, you know, you're talking 10 feet or so. And then you have to have supporting brackets. So those have to be above that. I was like, this thing doesn't fit in a house. Like it's the size of people's
VR gear in it.
Yeah. It's the size of people's living rooms. All so that you could just lay down and jump. Because those are two very spacious things.
Yeah, so this is almost a middle ground in that you can move around, but you don't have full mobility like laying down and jumping.
Yeah.
But it's small enough to actually be somewhat practical.
Yeah. It'd be like having a treadmill or something in your living room. It's not super weird. Like it takes up space, but it's like, yeah, I use it though, so it's people are more understanding rather than having such a giant restraint.
Yeah, like a multi-directional treadmill. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't believe we passed an hour by a long shot.
Wow, by a long shot, yeah.
An hour, 9 minutes. We're wild. Another successful live stream. I might be live streaming again this Saturday on my other YouTube account.
Okay.
Linked probably.
Do you know what you may be live streaming?
So, the live stream this past Saturday, I wanted to do the Super Mega Desk and rewire the whole thing.
Yes.
I rewired 1/3 of it.
Oh wow! So
it was like
a bigger project than expected.
Hour and 40 minutes or something like that. It took so long. But I got the main desk where the router and the modem and stuff sit, and the main computer sits. So now I'll be able to live stream from the actual computer that I'll be live streaming from. So hopefully I'll be able to get those settings tuned in over this next week.
Okay.
It's probably something I'll work on tomorrow actually, and start doing more live streams. I want to start a lot more live streaming. Otherwise, That's pretty much all me on.
Sounds good to me. We'll tech to you next week.